Hello everybody, we are back for another focused instruction lesson on how to read pedigree charts. You are responsible for 3 things during this focused instruction. The first one is that you are only writing when you are told to. So if I tell you to pick your pencils up, then you can pick your pencils up. But until I say that, all pencils should be down. Number 2 is that you are completely silent. You are not asking questions. You are not talking to your neighbor. You are not doing anything else other than having your attention on me with your pencil down. And the third thing is you are actively listening and watching. That means your eyes should be on me the entire time. You shouldn't be looking around. You shouldn't be doodling on your paper. You shouldn't be talking to somebody else. I need your full attention so that way I know that you can understand all of the different steps of how to read a pedigree chart. So at this time, make sure that you have your pedigree practice paper in front of you. Make sure that your pencil is down and make sure that you are facing the video to watch. Let's go over this top part that explains what a pedigree is and explains our key. A pedigree is a chart of a person's ancestors that is used to analyze genetic inheritance of certain traits, especially diseases. The symbols used for a pedigree are a circle that is not filled in, means that it's a female and they are unaffected, meaning they don't have that trait. There's a circle that is completely filled in, and that means it's a female, but they are affected, meaning they do have that trait. We then go over, there is a box that is not filled in, and that means it is a male and they are unaffected, meaning they don't have that trait. And then there's a box, it's completely filled in, and that means it's a male and they are affected. They do have that trait. So for example, if I see a circle and it is filled in on the pedigree chart, I know that it's a female and I know that they have whatever trait is being passed down and tracked in that pedigree. We're gonna look at an example together, go step by step on how to read it, how to figure it out, and then you're gonna have some time to try it out by yourself. As a reminder, our pencils are down, our eyes are on the front board. The first step is that you need to determine the number of generations. So how many people are there? How many generations are there? There is a parents and how many offspring did they have? And then did those offspring have any offspring? So I wanna look at how many lines there are in this pedigree. Most pedigrees are going to show some Roman numerals. These are these right here on the side. You see that 1 and then those 2 lines, that means 2 in Roman numerals. That's gonna tell us how many generations there are. So if I look at this pedigree, I see that there is this top one, and now I see that there is this bottom one. So when I wanna know how many generations there are, I'm looking and I see 2 generations in this example. Go ahead and pick up your pencils. You have 30 seconds to fill in that there are 2 generations for step number 1. Put your pencils down, put your eyes back on me so we can go over the next step. Step number 2 is to determine how many couples there are in a pedigree. So how many people have created offspring? And this is represented by a horizontal line. So a line that connects 2 of those people together. So if I look at this example, I see that there is only 1 horizontal line that connects 2 of them together. So I just want to point out that, what about this horizontal line? But there's not 2 people that are connected. Here we see that these 2 are connected by 1 horizontal line. If I look at this one, there is nothing attached to it. If I look at this middle one, there is nothing attached to it. And if I look at that third one, again, there is nothing attached to it. So when I'm trying to figure out how many couples there are, I'm looking for a horizontal line that connects 2 of those symbols together. In this example, there is only 1 horizontal line, which means that there is only 1 couple. Pick up your pencils and fill in for step number 2 that there is one couple. Step number 3 is we need to determine if the parents, so that couple, are affected or unaffected. I'm still learning all of this, so good thing that we have the key up at the top. We can always use that key to help us. So I go back to that key, and I know that if it is filled in, so if it is darkened, then I know that that means that they are affected. If it is not filled in, if it's blank, I know that they're not affected. So it wants to know if the parents are affected or unaffected. Make sure that your pencils are down, your eyes are on me, so we can talk through this together. I look and I see this first one is a box and it's colored in. 2 things. So I look, a box colored in means that that's a male, and it means that the male is affected. I then look at the second one, and it is a circle and it is not filled in. So I look up at the top, circle, not filled in. That's a female, and they are unaffected, meaning that they don't have that trait. So the female parent is unaffected, the male parent is affected. Pick up your pencils and copy down what is written on the board. Step number 4, determine how many males and females are in the offspring. So I want to figure out how many males, how many females are in the offspring. So that couple at the top produced that offspring. I want to figure out how many males and females there are. Please make sure your pencils are still down, your eyes are on me, and we're going to look at this together. So again, this is my couple. This is that second generation here, and I'm looking at if they are males or females. Again, we still have that key that we can use. Again, looking at that key, I know if it's a box, it's a male, and a circle is a female. So I look, and my first one here is a box. That means it's a male. The second is a circle, it's a female. And the third is a box, so it's a male. So in conclusion, I have 1 female and 2 males. Pick up your pencils and copy down that there are 1 female and 2 males. We are on our 5th and our final step in learning how to read a pedigree chart. Make sure your pencils are down, make sure your eyes are on me. The 5th step is decide if the offspring is affected or unaffected. And again, by affected and unaffected, we're saying, did that trait get passed down? Which one of those offspring has that trait? So again, we're using that key. That key up at the top tells me if it's a male or a female, and it tells me if they've been affected or unaffected. Affected, meaning have the trait. Unaffected, meaning they don't have the trait. So I look here at the bottom, and I see that male number 1, remember, we decided that male, this is a male with a box. Male number 1 is not shaded in. So male number 1 is not affected. Female number 2, so I look, female, because it's a circle, number 2, is affected. It's shaded in, and that means she is affected. And then number 3 is a male, and it's shaded in, so the third male is affected. I knew that by looking at the key and understanding how that key reads. Pick up your pencil and copy down male offspring 1 is unaffected, the female offspring 2 is affected, the male offspring 3 is affected. That is how to read a pedigree chart. It helps us track what traits have been passed down. It does not help us predict. That's the Punnett square. Punnett squares help us predict. Pedigree charts show us almost like a family tree, like what traits have been passed down from generation to generation, and is it a dominant or recessive trait based on how many of those offspring carry it. Focused instruction has ended. If you have any questions, please make sure to ask Ms. Smith and we will figure it all out together. If you are ready to try this out, then you are going to work on the practice problems on the back. If you get confused, you have this front area to help you step by step and go through it all together. Good luck.